I would say I have a bit more faith in the draft of TiltedBoys this game around, but again, it's pretty hard to tell because either side can pop off pretty quickly.
Yeah, you can kind of go either or. I think it's really down to how much you can get out of your lanes. I feel like if you get a good start in Nexus Titans, if you have this fast build-up in the Monkey King, the early activity coming out from Nexus Titans can be a little bit overwhelming. You've got Bloodseeker Doom on side of TiltedBoys. Hex, even a Snapfire needs time to cock up, right? You're gunning for your level 20, your level 25 talents. You have pretty decent magic output early on, but you don't really have the best hold for something like the Kisser. So it's not like you have a natural connection to look for that burst play. Your frontliner in the Doom is going to be waiting for like a blink up after his usual Midas Octarine Vanguard sort of build up. So the activity for TiltedBoys is the one thing I can see slowing down. And that is something the side of
hate this voice
Nexus Titans
so much.
Can.
It's the worst
Why
voice
do I hate?
Nexus Titans. They're gonna get 2 for 2.
Mike?
It's not hate. It's not hate. I just don't like it.
You just said you hate the voice line.
I do hate the voice line. Yeah, I know, but I'm saying it's not. I'm not hating on a genre of music. I just hate the actual voice line.
It is a nice one for distract. Hey, I thought you loved all of these mind games, distractions, all the stuff with voice lines.
Oh, I do, but it's
You're a
bothering
very
me.
inconsistent man, Mike. You're an inconsistent
No,
man.
I do. There's no psychological damage you're doing with that voice line. There's nothing you're doing. It's just annoying.
What's happening to you? Isn't that psychological damage?
No, this is annoyance. This is annoyance, John.
That is
In fact,
that
it'd
is a
probably
part
make
of your
me-
psyche, Mike.
It would probably make me want to win more, honestly, if I heard that.
There you go. We'll see if that motivates anyone here with a voice line spam from Volodka. We are taking a look at mid lane. Volodka up against Desperate on the Zeus versus Snap. Going pretty decently for Volodka. Not quite what I expect, but I suppose you can actually just leverage your right clicks here as well. And Desperate does have to come up close to get some right clicks off. The Snapfire feels a little bit better in those kinds of trades. We're not seeing Desperate spam out onto the wave as much. Volodka is doing a good job of just pulling back. So positioning for the creep wave, not quite ideal for Desperate to get max value, but at the least he hits level 2 without dying, so Heavenly Jump is ready in case he is caught out. Well, he's always got the bailout now.
Yeah, he should be just fine. A nice cookie from Volodka. Not going to amount to much. Because down at bot lane, you've got Ush and Skyward. They're going to be up against Kiritsugu is what I was meant to say. And of course, Nature Lover on the POS 5 Disruptor. This lane, it should be pretty favored towards Kiritsugu here on the Monkey King. Kind of hard to say that confidently, though, knowing that the Doom just seems to catch up no matter what lane it has, from what we've seen.
Yeah, I think this holds steady, actually, for the Doom. You just have to play a lot more defensive, but you can always go back and devour. Just play with Scorcher to clear out waves, and Nature Lover has to be careful with his spacing.
I love the fact that you can just dive as this hero. Just pop on level 1 Scorched Earth and suddenly you're a god, apparently. Is Nature Lover taking so much damage there from the Doom and the Rubik, but will be left alone for now. Of course, there is that final side lane. Top lane, you've got Fuerte there with Dor, and of course, Zora and Thane are going to be up against them. This one, I mean, it's hard to know, because you have the inbuilt region of the Thirst, so it's... Even for Zor, like at these earlier levels, it's kind of hard to deal with Fuerte on the Bloodseeker. So you don't even see Zor bothering to pop the Whirling Death. He just holds on to the mana.
Yeah, just playing a lot safer. I think your real issue here is not so much the Bloodseeker in as much as it is the Enchantress. Like, Dora's just cutting off Tina, preventing any sort of Netherblast plays, and just free damage.
Yeah, Thane is gone. Fuerte going to be handed over the first blood here, and tip immediately out from Ush from the side lane, the opposite side of the map. So there you go. A nice setup there from Dor, and I'm sure Fuerte will be very, very happy with that kind of start.
Yeah,
He's mid lane.
more than happy.
Desperate almost going down as well. Barely able to heavily jump before the final attack came in.
Yeah, it's looking a lot dicier than I'd expect for Desperate. Again, Volodka is a really strong mid. We saw that in our mid matchup in our player comparisons, but to have this strong a start over the Zeus, a little bit surprised Desperate isn't able to just try to play it safe with Arc Lightning and clear out. Getting caught out by the cookie a couple times does offset that start for the matchup for the Zeus, so that is something you have to take care of. Even down bot, the aggression still kicking in.
Yeah, she's going to be okay to survive. Skyward, though, he did keep going, and now he might be in danger, but actually manages to get himself out. He did not have the glimpse up here for Nature Lover, so he couldn't opt to go for that. At least Kiritsugu now, feeling like he's zoned them out, can just freely farm without any kind of contest. Mid lane again, another cookie landing here from Wildcard. Sadly, he had no follow-up spells to throw out, but he's going to be able to secure himself a nice little water in there. He's desperate, going to try and do the same on his own side of things. And this Zeus is just not having the best of times, I'll tell you.
It's, again, a little bit surprising. Not able to just sit back. Oh.
Yeah, he's dropping. Wildcard, though, diving a bit too deep. He's going to die for this.
That's maybe a little bit optimistic to go under the tower there. Almost managed to still nail Desperate.
I'm sending you back to the 7.
Yeah, now Ash going down bottom lane. Kiritsugu able to take that one out. So the Monkey King really starting to take control here on the MK, and Kiritsugu off to a pretty damn good start. I mean, he's 28-9 in terms of CS with now a kill on his hands, and they have not really been able to do too much about this MK whatsoever. They're going to try now. A bit of damage being dealt. Kiritsugu, who will have the Boundless Strike to force them away, but he still goes down. Skyward able to secure the kill now.
And they had enough damage flying out there. Maybe a bit of an overextension on the Monkey. Still a pretty good time for Kiritsugu overall. Again, do match up for Monkey King, pretty stable. And this is the point where you can kind of leave that lane for Nature Lover for the most part. Like, you're pretty secure, and a Monkey King can start to help out mid a lot more. Maybe look for that 6-minute, 8-minute power rune coming up down the line.
Vayner almost goes down top lane. Meanwhile, mid lane, now Skyward has rotated, but Volodka's going to drop again. Thunder God's Wrath proving to be enough here to take the kill, as Ash now dropping down a bottom lane. So they're just making a hell of a lot of rotations that aren't amounting to anything here for TiltedBoys. Like, Skyward rotates mid, but his Snapfire dies, and then a second later, his Doom dies.
It's just not the way you'd want this to go for TiltedBoys for sure, but this is to be expected from the side of Nexus Titans. Like, the lane matchup's a lot better. Outside of Desperate's lane, it is showing up that way, and Desperate with those 2 kills kind of makes up for that earlier death. So, the early aggression onto him, so you're pretty happy with this outcome. And this is the one concern for TiltedBoys. This draft from Nexus Titans does kick off a lot faster. It's not going to be sitting back and farming. Although, to be fair, Kiritsugu is looking for the Battle Fury, and they're looking for the Wisdom Rune here as well.
Yeah, I mean, Thana could be in a bit of trouble topside as well. Like, there's just mess happening all across, as both Wisdom Runes are going to go the way of the Dire, it seems, but both kills are going to go the way of the Radiant. Dawn and Skyward both dropping, as Nature Lover topside is going to, rather bottom side is going to be in a bit of trouble, and Kiritsugu is actually the one to go down. So they actually find the Monkey King over the Disruptor, a much better target. While they lost both supports, but finding the POS 1 MK and getting both Wisdom Runes is still going to feel very, very good.
Yeah, you're much happier on the side of TiltedBoys off the back of those trades. Looks a little bit awkward coming in, but yeah, you get the Wisdom Runes, you slow down the pacing, you get a free lane for Ferta up top, who is starting to cop from the harassment of Zor. Let's be a bit cautious.
Chains forward, Chakram is not going to land, but they have the Decrepify. Chains forward again, but Ferta is still running, still Thane is going to have the damage. Just before they get into the Roshan pit, make sure he does go down. Volodka in the meantime, mid lane, going to be chased down here by Desperate. Does now have a shield rune on the Zeus, but he's not looking to go back in and dive the tier 1 tower. Even bottom lane, Ash was dropping extremely low on the Doom. Does barely manage to get his way out of that.
And then Nexus Titans are starting to apply that early pressure, which is what you want to see with this lineup. They've got to play pretty fast. They have to suppress this farm that TiltedBoys want to bring out with Doom Bloodseeker, even to an extent the Snapfire as well. It's going to need some build-up. They're already applying good pressure up top. Tana with a level 2 Netherblast. Not the biggest damage, but consistent enough that you are getting a lot out onto that tier 1. And I don't see TiltedBoys kind of grouping up for their own push anytime soon. Like, the Doom can't really frontline for you too well up against the Monkey King. At the very least, you've got Doom up and running, ready to go. So you can kind of try to connect with that, try to get a good spell use off. But the Titans are the ones that are looking to really start running around here, take control of this game. You've got Thunder God's Wrath ready once more if they make an aggressive move forward. They do clean up that top tier 1. A little bit of a clump up from TiltedBoys down bot, but they are under vision. Like this ward spotting out Doors rotation in, so they might not be able to find too much for their effort here.
I mean, they might just want the tier 1 tower at this stage. That tier 1 is sitting pretty healthy at the moment. Kiritsugu is already ready for a defense here on the Monkey King. Just waiting for supports to roam in. I say supports, it's got Desperate there as well in the mid Zeus. So it wouldn't be the easiest team fight here for TiltedBoys to try and take. Ward's down, though it is going to be spotted here. Lift Up is not going to place Nature Lover on the cliff, but they can still chase for the kill. Doom is out. They actually found Kiritsugu on the Monkey King, and he's going to drop. That's a nice start here for TiltedBoys, but they are looking to perhaps drop themselves now. Zash still dropping quite low, should go down. Desperate on a triple. Looking for Volodka. They should have another. Though where's the mana? Nobody's got any mana to throw out any spells here on Volodka. It seems like Volodka's going to be fine to walk out of there. But it's still a 3-for-1 trade. They'll have their Monkey King go down, but they'll find 3 for their trouble. It's still a great team fight for Nexus Titans.
You don't mind that too much. You're holding on to your objectives. Bot tier 1 gets to stay alive. No openings coming out for the side of TiltedBoys. They force out the Doom from Ush as well. So you know that's not going to be a threat for the next minute and a half, and that's an opening for you on the side of Nexus Titans. They can just kind of get aggressive off the back of it. They don't have too many long cooldowns to wait for on Thunder God's Wrath. It's probably one of the longer ones, but it's just a bit of a bonus overall for these fights rather than a necessary thing. Phylactery up and Desperate. The Arc Lightning spam is pretty damn annoying now.
There goes bottom lane. Skyward goes down. Athena able to take that kill pretty easily on the Pugna. A 2k advantage standing now for Nexus Titans. Can't say I was quite expecting this kind of start here from Nexus Titans, but they are looking very dominant here in this game 1. At least for now.
Yeah, they're getting a lot of work out from the laning phase. They're getting a lot of early aggression the side of TiltedBoys. It's time to kind of default back to a bit of stall. Volodka's going to need farm on the Snapfire. Once the Atos is up, that could be at least one way to connect with your Rubik and your Ench. Ush has to recover, and you need your Bloodseeker to kind of kick into gear as well. So all of your cores have to default into playing a little bit slower, maybe outside of the Snapfire here. That's a lot of time they have to stall out for 2 cores. And the side of the Titans, well, they don't need to wait too much. Kiritsugu's still working towards his Battle Fury, but you've got lane control coming out. You've got early aggression and presence with the Timbersaw and the Zeus. Take that bot to one and look for more up top.
Yeah, top lane, that's a big pick off. He does get caught and he's down. Door moving in to try and get something now, but he might just be the secondary kill. The nice setup here from our Snapfire. Volodka might be able to trade as he does get a Doom off onto the Zeus, but the kisses are all missing. There you go, he finally goes down. But now you might have Volodka going down himself. Zor will just continue chasing, though actually misses a Chakram, misses the chains.
All right, I'm thinking that's based. All right.
And Volodka's actually going to get out of here. Who actually wins the team fight?
I'd say that's better for TiltedBoys coming out. I mean, you do lose your Bloodseeker, but you're giving a lot of kills out to Volodka, who does have to get that early farm to provide tempo for the team. So this is the hero you want to kind of be on top for the next 10 minutes in the Snapfire. More than happy to feed that gold away to her while your Bloodseeker just defaults back to farming anyway. So you don't mind that too much. You get punishment onto the Zeus. Desperate, just going a little bit too far forward. Not respecting that Doom from Ush. And you're perfectly happy on TiltedBoys. With the Atos up for Volodka, allows some self-setup for the Atos, some follow-up stun to kind of get control for Kisses to follow through, more stats as well. So it is a pretty big pickup here for the side of TiltedBoys. Nexus Titans, though, smoking off the back of that here.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to head down towards the bottom lane. looking for Fuerte. He does make his way out, so instead they're going to have to go after Door. Door is just going to drop very, very quickly here on the edge. No real chance of survival. Desperate now being very, very active with the phylactery up on the Zeus. Just so much more damage being provided here from the mid Zeus now. Certainly a timing the TiltedBoys don't seem to be able to deal with very effectively. Got to try and play the avoid game here against Nexus Titans until you are ready yourself. I suppose they do have a bit of a greedier draft with the way things are going. So take more time, get your farm going. Mid lane is being forced in right now though by Nexus Titans. They will make the jump in onto Door. Door is able to walk away, but now Skyward in trouble. He'll be alright. Even more TPs coming in now for TiltedBoys to try and hold on to this mid tier 1. Ronovatos is going to hold down the Zeus, so a nice setup from Wildcard, but Desperate is still just walking away. Now the Static Storm comes in from the side, so you have the kisses cancelled. Ash is trying to dive in, commits the Doom out, deny out from the Pugna now, as Ash will finally go down. Meanwhile, the Zeus should drop here to the damage of the Doom, eventually, and he will. The very strange team fight between these two sides.
Yeah. It's a lot of forward movement out, good saves to try to stall out that death on Desperate. Allows him to at least get off the Thunder God's Rat in the middle, provide him the softening up nuke to open up those kills onto the Snapfire and Doom. This time, a lot better for trade for Nexus Titans finding those two cores, and they can keep going for this push as well.
I mean, they're going to find Zor in the mid lane, so Zor's going to find Skyward. The mid tier 1 tower, it should just be dropping, and well, this is why I think Pugna's still considered one of the strongest supports here, because the Nether Blast as well, the push you offer as a POS 5 or even a POS 4, it can feel pretty ridiculous. Like, they're just doing that much damage to a tower over and over again on a 5-second cooldown. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it is a lot of push. There's a lot of value in that. Ferta getting chased down here.
Yeah, top lane, Fuerte. A big pick off if they can get it. He doesn't really have the greatest ways out of this scenario, and he's just dead. Zor able to take another kill. The Timbersaur's been having a really good time this game, and this is one of those games where you thought the Bloodseeker should do decently well against the Timber, just having that rupture counter, but it has not worked out that way whatsoever.
No, definitely not. I mean, he had to rupture up the Monkey King just because that was the initial chase down, so that leaves Zor free to just dance around there. And in the lane, it's not really that good. Like, it's a solution down the line for sure with a rupture, but laning phase, yeah, you can sustain out with Tourist, but the output of Zor just gets incredibly hard to deal with once you have that chakram up. So you're shoved away pretty early once Zor is allowed to get some solo EXP out.
Bit of a jump in on Wildcard. No real chase though. Wildcard is going to be just fine. Ash looking to find perhaps a Doom target. There's your kisses out now. Wildcard's hitting nothing with these. Desperate eventually gets hit with them, but is completely whiffed. Fuerte, alright, they've lost the Bloodseeker. Well, what was that? Zor now going to jump in. Door is gone. How did that happen?
He was stuck in the kinetic field somehow. I don't know why he was in that position. Maybe he went for the Watcher, the disabling Watcher, but
The Watcher?
a little bit too up front. Yeah. It looked like he was right next to that objective and does get punished for it. Your Bloodseeker's not safe here until BKB. Like that's really the one key thing up against. Even just the Timbersaw alone, the BKB is very justifiable, but you're up against a Zeus, you're up against a Pugna, there's a lot to worry about here. So you will need some self-debuff immunity for Ferta. He is opting for Mjolnir first, so probably just feels like maybe damage up front, but I don't know if he's going to be tanky enough to try to run someone down here, which is really the main concern for the side of TiltedBoys. No one to frontline just yet. Ush, he's got the Midas, he's got the Vanguard going for a pipe. Once you have the blink up on the Doom, that's the bigger timing. Allows you some way of controlling these fights yourself. But Wildcard being flanked from the rear here.
Oh, Desperate, and that's a big target to take down, but Desperate is actually not dropping. Haven't got the damage output yet. Blood Right is there. Rupture committed for a Tay. He can get the drop in time. All right. Desperate does die. That's a big one. Nature Lover gonna try for a TP up. The Doom is committed. Ush is not messing around. Just ensure they can find any kill they can get. So the Nexus Titans, they do lose 2 targets. That is a good news for the dire end of things, because things have not been going too well for them. Forte now being chased down here by Zor. Zor, however, missing everything. And in fact, now Forte thinking about turning back around on the Timber, but you don't have Rupture. And Zor has his Pugna behind him, so chances are he's probably just not going to die here. But they lift him up again. Chase him down. Blood Right is there. It should land, but no, it will miss. Kiritsugu with the Boundless Strike, and the Wukong's gonna turn it back around. And now the chase is on for the Bloodseeker. They'll find another. Zor, he might finally die, or maybe not. Thana will just heal him up. That's so rough. The thing was, they spent this whole time chasing a Timbersaw, as if they could actually kill him.
Yeah, it's a little bit optimistic, especially while Rupture's down to look for Zor. To be fair, I mean, Zor did make it look like he was a viable target. He was missing most of his spells in that chase down. So TiltedBoys feel like they have the opportunity, but they just don't have the output. They don't have that protection yet with a BKB. You do see Ferte queuing that up now, so he does change his mind about that Mjolnir rush and realizes the BKB is a necessary component for them to look for these openings on TiltedBoys. The Titans, though, they're playing really damn well. They know that there's no way the Pugna gets punished in the backline outside of the kisses. Volodka might actually really have to just try to gun down Tana first. And that is one shortcoming in this draft from TiltedBoys, right? Like, no easy initiation until you've got the blink up on Ush, no real high mobile hero to rip through a backline support like the Pugna. And that just complicates these fights because you get max value from the life drain, from the nether blast, and these pushes. Like, there's nothing to punish that squishy little hero in the backline here.
And there certainly isn't. There goes your top tier 2 tower, just being focused down now by Kiritsugu. The TiltedBoys having 0 answers towards the team fight of Nexus Titans. Nexus Titans down 9k ahead. Desperate. Mid lane, gonna find Door on the end. Door really looking like he has no chance out of here as Nature Lifer even just dropping the Static Storm. No care in the world. Door will die for the 6th time this game. And I'll tell you, John, with this kind of draft from TiltedBoys, like, you're relying on a position 1 Bloodseeker to make the comeback happen for you guys. That never feels good. But this hero feels like absolute trash in the best of games, let alone in a game like this.
Yeah, it's going to be tough going for Ferte. Once BKB's up, perhaps you have some of that early presence. Really, for TiltedBoys, it's down to also hitting your level spikes in Volodka, which is a ways off from happening. Like, level 20, 25 is when you start to feel really good about your core snap, when it can start to pop off as a universal hero type, but it's way too long for that. Like, you have to keep stalling. Again, it's down to the timings of these cores. Doom, Bloodseeker, and the Snap to an extent all need a lot of time to cock up, and your early to mid game momentum was really just down to Volodka and no one else. And, you know, his mid lane in terms of CS was fine, but those 2 deaths really impacted his scaling into that mid game coming out of the lanes, and that just means you don't have a hero to connect with for TiltedBoys. You don't have anyone these 2 supports can really play to try to set up for kills outside of the Snap. And the Snap is really focused on just the kisses. You don't have the best AoE lockdown to maximize that. All you have is single target control right now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a pretty rough time, to say the least. It's TiltedBoys. I mean, they're not out of this game yet. They've still got time to try and find a way of making a comeback here in this game 1. It's just looking very, very tough with a 10k disadvantage. So, well, now Roshan's going to get started here from Nexus Titans. So, a pretty big kind of boost for them. I don't think TiltedBoys can really afford to try and force a fight here at the moment. I mean, you do have now the BKB up on Ferte, so you could think about it. But even with the BKB, I don't think Nexus Titans will care at all for it. Let's continue taking the Roshan. Thane are going to keep him very, very healthy throughout all this. And Roshan's going to be taken very simply. Like, there's just no contest. No counter fight to come from TiltedBoys. But they are smoked up now, but it's way too late.
Yeah, not quick enough. They've got the blink to reveal on Ush. So they could probably take a fight with the blink BKB up on their Doom and up on Ferta as well. Just need to find a good hero to start off things here.
Yeah, I mean, they're moving in. They're going to try. Nexus Titans doing a good job of just backing off. Thunder God's Wrath going to give the vision as well. Zor not actually look at the front line, but rather just let his Disruptor die by the looks of it. The Glimmer Cape is really saving his ass. They actually can't deal with him. The Decrepify as well, just not letting anyone hit. It's Volodka already being chased down through the BKB by Kiritsugu. Volodka, I mean, he's going to try and cookie over the damn the pond, but it's not going to work out. This door goes down as well. 2 down for TiltedBoys. Not even a team fight, just individual pickoffs happening here. They just look like they had no chance to begin with.
Yeah, a couple of things went wrong there for TiltedBoys. Ferte ran into that tree line where the ward had vision on the path. So they get early vision onto Bloodseeker. They pop the Thunder God's Wrath to know the positioning, to know if a smoke's up. They see it doesn't show anywhere else. So they back off. They get themselves a stronger position. They break up this fight. And TiltedBoys aren't able to initiate. I guess you've got this Blink Doom available, but Ush doesn't see anyone he can viably target first. And that just means you can't take the fight. And that is your one big opening for these engagements. Just Blink Doom up, but Ush can't find it. You know, the backline's very well protected. And even when it comes down to Doom targets, like, you can't Doom a Monkey King with Aegis. Maybe the Silversaw could be big.
They do the Desperate up here on the Zeus, so they do find that. Desperate kind of getting caught with his pants down to the die. Jungle ends up going down, but that's only 1 kill, and Desperate, I'm sure, won't be looking to make that same mistake again. So the rest of his team still getting together, proved to be way too strong, and you see top lane, Kiritsugu, has been ruptured up to make sure Furte can just walk away from this situation. So he cannot afford to man fight the MK 1v1. I just don't see at what point this game gets any better for TiltedBoys. It's just looking harder and harder as the time goes on.
I see one timing, like 2025 for Volodka. Maybe a Mjolnir and see a Batcher up on Ferta. That's when things can start to open up a little bit more. Until that point, it's not going to be that easy. It's not going to be easy at all for TiltedBoys. I think you're under a lot of pressure for Ush to try to get something done with a Blink Doom. Maybe he needs that War Stomp from the Centaur Conqueror. And just to have a little bit more of that initiation here. Something like the Ags build up on Ush can be pretty impactful as well. But again, it's just so much farm. Just way too much farm necessary on TiltedBoys. And there's no sign of stopping here on the side of Nexus Titans as they do smoke up.
The top lane, they are going to head over to Furte. Luckily, the kinetic field is going to give vision and information over for the Bloodseeker, knowing that they are trying to move their way up to that area. So mid-tier 2 tower going to be focused here by Nexus Titans. Not going to take him very long to take that one out. It is gone.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Nexus Titans not looking to go high ground yet, I don't think. Maybe looking to just reset their HP mana pools first. Minute 20 left on the Aegis, but it looks like it may never really get used. Like that tier 2 mid tower might be the best objective they actually get out of this Aegis. So gonna run it into Volodka now. Smoke up immediately from TiltedBoys is broken here in the mid lane by Kiritsugu. Meanwhile, Volodka, forced to BKB TP away, will make it out. Mid lane, Kiritsugu actually moved in onto Ush by himself. Unable to find the kill so far, but does jump in again with the Primal Spring, and Ush is just dead. Unable to walk away from the scenario. Skyward, Boundless Strike gonna land. He will also be down. Verte's trying to rush in. A nice cookie on Desperate gonna cancel the TP off. And now Kiritsugu is dropping a little bit low, but he still has the Aegis. In fact, now the rest of the cavalry do show up, so Nexus Titans don't really have too much to be afraid of. They are stronger in numbers. Though I must say, losing that Zeus might feel a little bit painful for him.
Just a bit too far forward there and Desperate. A really good cookie out, good control to just stop Desperate from trying to TP home. They find some good punishment. That's enough to stall out the high ground. It just would, how low its time is, not the comfiest for the side of the Titans to try to go for objectives. But the map is naked still for TiltedBoys. They're not able to capitalize as much as they'd want to over that Zeus kill. They will smoke up now, so perhaps they can hatch someone out, but no stragglers remaining from Nexus Titans here, Mike. They've all kind of bailed out onto their side of the map across the river. So it doesn't feel like you should be able to find something off the smoke. And that's unfortunate. Like, you want to be able to start to get that ball rolling while the Zeus is down, even a few seconds without having to worry about Thunder God's Wrath is big. But just good map awareness from the side of Nexus Titans. A good understanding that, you know, play it safe, back off, don't get too greedy in farming, and just don't give any openings out.
Well, Zor, they are going to find the Timber, but he's a pretty tough target to deal with, so they'll walk away from that. Thunder God's Wrath going to give all the vision over onto TiltedBoys, so they do immediately need to get the hell out of there. It's not very, very safe for them. But they are going to stick around, maybe looking for an entrance into a fight. Verte's going to find a double damage, so now they're very tempted. Probably the best chance they've had all game to get a successful team fight to go their way. Question is, can they actually find a good team fight for themselves? Right now, they are baiting in the mid lane with the Bloodseeker, but I doubt the Nexus Titans will try to make a jump in when they see the double damage there on the BS. So instead, it looks like the lines have been drawn out through bottom lane, and TiltedBoys, they are going to try and maybe start to push out through the bottom. Better than nothing, at least right now for TiltedBoys.
Yeah, just get some laning pressure, maybe find a tier 2. So you've got an opening just in case you find a full team wipe somehow. Try to gun for a tier 3 down the line. Side of Nexus Titans, so I mean, no pressure, right? They just shove in top, force a response out. Already one into Doom heading up there. A TP cancellation, just not wanting to overcommit on just fixing over lane. And that will leave them a man short on the side of TiltedBoys, but see if the side of the Titans do decide to push forward. And they are coming in now, but the back off is already there, although Ferte.
I mean, he's in a bit of danger here as the Bloodseeker. He's going to be forced to BKB TP away. He's alright. It's a long TP, but he's alright. And I guess they do force the defense out from Nexus Titans. So at least you don't have to worry about any high ground attempts happening here from the Radiant end. You know that they have to push out the bottom lane again. But I guess for Nexus Titans, they are probably waiting for the next Roshan anyway, to be absolutely fair.
Yeah, just no pressure. I mean, you're in cruise control right now for Nexus Titans. You can choose to do what you want in this game. You've got control. Longer Roche respawn at 2 minutes. You might find a pick off.
Mid lane. Looks like they're going to find nothing here. Even the Thunder God's Wrath being committed, though, no, they do get a glimpse. The visual will be enough for Nature Lover. Was within range for the Ench. I mean, maybe they could force a buyback from the Ench. Like, it's 40-second cooldown. She might not even need to buy back, to be fair, because it is just a +5 Enchantress, but we'll see if they can force something.
They already used forced out the BKB usage on Wildcard, so it's down to 6 seconds now on that debuff immunity. Not the best feeling in the world. I don't think you've gotten enough from the BKB. At the same time, at least you're minimizing your losses here for the side of TiltedBoys. Your concern still lies in the fact that you really can't do much in the map. Good forward vision coming out from Nexus Titans, watching both of the jungle entrances right now. The triangle and that top jungle area in their control. A minute left till Roshan. At the very least, you've got this cheeky little mud golem keeping track on the side of TiltedBoys, but will be found out and taken out. And with a respawn in a minute, should head down bot. The TiltedBoys trying to make their way down this corridor again.
I mean, that they are. Rupture's going to be committed. Who have they actually got with that? It's going to be Zor on the Timbers. That's a great start. Zor is gone. Buyback is available. Problem is they cannot deal with Kiritsugu, so they lose their Bloodseeker. Kiritsugu just man-fights him. Ferete, I'm not sure what the idea was. I think he thought maybe we could do with the MK, but that was not the case. As Volodka barely able to BKB away with the TP. Nexus Titans able to find another great team fight. Even chasing down Door now. Primal Spring is going to land. Decrepify is going to be out, and that means that Door is probably also just dead. Nature Lover will take it.
Damn, they'd find the pickoff, so now they've got the attempt for high ground. Even with Roshan up, you have nothing to worry about. Granted, Doom is still available in Usher on the respawn, so you still have some options here. You also have the stolen life drain ready on Skyward. It can be impactful in a couple of these fights if he does hold on to that one.
Oh, Skyward lift up, has got Kiritsugu. There's no Aegis up. He did not finish off Roshan, but the Pugna, it's proving to be a bit too powerful. This life drain. It's just so much HP regen coming up for Kiritsugu. There's just nothing they can do about it either. They have not been able to find the Pugna at all this game.
Just no backline repper coming out from TiltedBoys. No mobility on mid. This is where that Snapfire last pick kind of surprised me. You know, you still had a couple of Spirit Brothers left. They just respect the fact that, yeah, the Timbersaw could be flexed onto the mid lane, so they opt for the snap to be safe, but I don't know, like, you need something highly mobile. Just rip off these really squishy targets in back. Like, not just the Pugna, even the Disruptor's been getting a lot of value here. Nature Lover hasn't died that many times, only 2 deaths. Roche up top, smoke out from TiltedBoys. They will want to contest, but it's not a full commitment yet from Nexus Titans. They are a little bit scattered around, but they've got the gate to go through at least.
Yeah, they do. Problem is, Nexus Titans, I mean, they are hanging around here. Fuerte going to kind of reveal that the Bloodseeker has moved in with his team. Static Storm going to be dropped immediately. They actually have found Skyward on the Rubik. Nature Lover, though, going to get caught out on his own, but there's a Wukong's command coming out now. Fuerte needs to run. Volodka jumped in. Volodka's down. Here we go again, the life train versus life train situation. Skyward trying to suck the life out of him, but Dana putting it right back in. Fuerte, he might actually have a chance now. He's got the kill onto Kiritsugu, but he's down. Ash still trying on the Doom. Thunder God Draft going to hand over the vision as now Door shown up again against Desperate, but he is just taking him down anyway. Buyback's coming out here from TiltedBoys. None of it's going to matter though.
No. Like a lot of committal from the side of TiltedBoys getting 3 buybacks out. And overall, it's still a massive win for Nexus Titans. You do manage to get a good Doom off onto Kiritsugu. You don't manage to pin down the supports. It takes him a while to rip through Tana. So the life drain does a lot in the middle of that. And, well, now you've got Aegis up and running on a Monkey King, who will have Wukong's in 16 seconds back up, BKB in 20, and like they've got that opening for the high ground for sure. And TiltedBoys, they're down without Doom for a little bit longer. Ferte can try to get something done in the middle of this, but without that Doom, it just feels like your tools for the fight are not quite there.
Pretty rough here for TiltedBoys. Top tier 2 tower, top tier 3 tower going to be under siege again. Nexus Titans. The top racks now taking a lot of damage, and Ferte, I'm not sure about that. Like, he moves right up and close and personal here at Kiritsugu. Just, I'm not sure what he's trying to do with the Bloodseeker. And he's down for 2 minutes. This game's just as good as over. I'm just going to try and jump in now for one last shot. He's down. Door still trying to go. Meanwhile, Volodka's has been caught by Kiritsugu, so he's down. No buybacks on those guys either. Glimpse back on Skyward. He will drop to boot. Door is the only survivor. Not for long, though. He's going to get bound to die by Desperate. And GG is called. A pretty messy game for TiltedBoys, but Nexus Titans looking very clean here in this game 1.